Alright guys, we are back working on portfolios. This time you're on the fourth portfolio if you're in my class, or maybe another ordering in a different class, but this is the portfolio on page 93 in your book. So let's go over here, let's course content. Let's look at this. It's this one right here, page 93. Again, it's the fourth one if you are in my classes. Okay. All right. So it says page 93, lesson 2-1, technology 1. So let me pull up the ebook real fast. Go to page 93. Let's see here. So it told us to do technology 1. It says, find the results of an online survey that you find interesting, then use them to compute some empirical probabilities. Summarize your findings in a paragraph. Okay, so recall, this is pretty much very similar to what we did right here. Okay, this was a weird example. It was about the age of men's undergarments, but see here, there's different categories. And this is the number per category. That's the kind of data you're looking for. You want a table where there's categories, then the number of items or number of people per category. Now, sometimes students struggle with finding the data set here. Now, it could be, depending on what your data set was for the first portfolio, this page 15, the bar chart one, your data may work. If your data was like categories and number of people per category, or number of items per category, or number of people per category kind of thing. The one I did in my video actually wouldn't work though. So depending on the data you picked for this page 15 portfolio, you may be able to use that and may not. But here's the kind of data you want. So let me go over here, new tab. So the directions say to look for the results of an online survey. Find the results of an online survey. Okay, so you can Google that if you want to. Table of results of survey. And you go to Google Images. You might be able to find some stuff here. Here you go. Here's one. So this is a survey results of a survey that's asking, a questionnaire that's asking what students' favorite subjects are, favorite classes. And here's the number of students per category. Something like that is perfect. Okay? Here you go. Cookie preference survey result. That's perfect. People who like chocolate chip, that's 125. People who like peanut butter cookies, 85. That's what you're looking for. Where that's a category of people or a category of some characteristic and the number of people that possess that characteristic, or the number of items that possess that characteristic kind of thing. That's what you're looking for here. Okay, you're not looking for percentages, you want the counts, the tallies of folks, or the tallies of items that possess a certain characteristic. You know, and this is called a frequency distribution table. So that's another thing you can search for if you want to. Let's type in frequency distribution table. Go over here to images, and that's the exact same kind of thing. Except here, sometimes the data might not be categorical. So it looks like a lot of this data is more numerical as opposed to categorical. So it would be good maybe to do like the author said and look for results of a survey. Or, I've got a better idea, I think. Type in American Community Survey. Oh, not images. Go to all. American Community Survey. This is a part of the Census Bureau website that's pretty useful. So if you go here, go to Data and Tools. Let's see here. And go to maybe Data Profiles, I think it is. Yeah. You can look at all kinds of stuff about maybe the entire United States, or we can let's do Florida since we're in Florida. Let's go to Florida here and get the data profile of Florida, and we have a couple of options here. We can look at social characteristics, education, marital status, that kind of stuff. We can look at economic characteristics of the state, income, employment, occupation, housing characteristics, or demographic. That would be like race, gender, etc., etc. Let's see. What do we want to look at? Let's see what social characteristics we have here. Okay, see what this does here? Okay, so what we do here is we have the total households. Okay, this is types of households. So you have total households is 7,217,508 households, and here's the number that are in different types. So family households versus non-family, and then the breakdown of everybody in between. So you have different types of relationships. Okay, you have marital status, fertility. You have all kinds of stuff here. Let's go here to educational attainment. I think I'm going to do this one. So it says the population of folks 25 and over is 13,561,596. Then you have all the different numbers of folks that have this type of education. So that have less than 9th grade is about 730,000. You have with a graduate degree 1.3 million, associate's degree 1.2 million. So instead of having to write all those numbers down, I'm going to take a screenshot real fast. So hit the print screen button, go over here. What I want to do, let's see, go to paint, go over here, paste that, crop. I want to just take this table right here. I think this is an interesting table. And this is how I'm going to base my chart off of. So again, you could use Google search, you could do whatever you want to, but I think there's a lot of really cool data. On the American Community Survey. Again, you can go back here. Oh, let's close that out. You can go and look at housing characteristics, demographic. So again, we selected Florida. So this is all about Florida. So you can see how many people according to race, according to gender, according to age. You could go back and look at economic characteristics, like what kind of jobs people have. See how much they commute. Here's the types of jobs, whether you're in service sector, whether you're in sales, whether you're in more of production, transportation, that kind of stuff. Yeah, all kinds of different stuff. Whether you're a government worker versus private company versus self-employed. So all kinds of stuff here in the American Community Survey. Okay, again, just type in American Community Survey in Google, and there's tons of data, and we sorted here by Florida, but you can go to any state, or you can look at the entire United States if you want to. So I have that little table. I have it copy and pasted, or I have it copied right now. This is one of those portfolios, one of the few portfolios that's going to be in Microsoft Word. So we don't need Excel for this one. I'm going to paste that table in Microsoft Word. Now, for this portfolio, the point of it says compute empirical probabilities. So all we want to do here is find the probability, the empirical probability of each of these categories. Now, how do you find empirical probability? Empirical probability is essentially the percent of people that have a characteristic, but it's expressed in decimal form. Because remember, probabilities are always expressed in decimal form, in a decimal that falls in between 0 and 1. So it could be 0, it could be 1, but it's a decimal number between 0 and 1, inclusive. So the first thing you want to do whenever you want to find a empirical probability is to find the whole. Because to find a percent, you want to do the part divided by whole. Or to find a probability, you want to do part divided by whole. Well, lucky for us, we have the whole right here. Population 25 and older, that's 13,561,596. And so here are the parts here. Here's the people that have less than 9th grade education, then 9th to 12th, but no diploma, high school diploma or GED, 4 million, and so on. So all we need to do here is to find the probabilities of each category, is to take each of those respective parts and divide by the whole for each of them. That's all we want to do here. And again, the results for whatever survey you're looking at would be the exact same thing. Sometimes you won't have the whole already. Like you might have to add up all of the individuals to get the whole. But we have the whole there. Okay? So all I need to do here is do some calculator work and write some sentences. So I'm going to write a few sentences here. And let's see. I'll say the empirical probability of having a, let's see, how do I want to word this? Now let's see, the empirical probability that a randomly selected Floridian has less than a ninth grade education. Oh, let's say adult Floridian. Selected adult Floridian has 25 and older. Has a ninth grade. Let's see, the empirical probability that a randomly selected adult Floridian, 25 years and older, has less than ninth grade education is, okay, now how do you find that probability? It's the part divided by the whole. So what's the part here? The part is, okay, the people that have less than ninth grade education are 737,479. That's the part. And then divide by the whole. So 13,561,596. Okay, when you divide the 700,000 figure by the 13 million figure, you get a decimal number. Now, let's see. Let's round that decimal to, let's see. Let's say 3 decimal places. Let's just say 3, and it is 0. I'm reading on my calculator. I'm just reading on my calculator here. 0.054. That's the 3 decimal places. Okay, so that is the probability of a randomly selected Floridian having a less than 9th grade education. Okay, now we want to do that exact same thing for the rest of those categories. So we just need to give, however many sentences for a sentence for each category. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy my sentence. Okay, so now and then change the category. The empirical probability that a randomly selected Floridian has a 9th, let's see, to 12th grade education. I need to change the number, of course, is what? So again, 9th to 12th. Oh, but I need to say, but no diploma is, well, let's see. The number of people in that category is 1,099,577 divided by the whole, which is that 13 million figure, 13,561,596. And okay, just again, I'm just reading on my calculator here. It's 0.081 if I round to 3 decimal places. The empirical probability that a randomly selected Floridian 25 years and older has a less than a 9th grade, not to say less, has a 9th to 12th grade education, but no diploma. Okay? So again, copy and paste doesn't usually always save you a ton of time. Let's see here. Let's do it again. The empirical probability, and this time, that a randomly selected Floridian has a high school, let's say, is a high school, how do I want to say this? Is a high school graduate but not gone to college. Is, okay, the empirical probability that a randomly selected adult Floridian, 25 years and older, is a high school graduate but has not gone to college. Let's see what that probability is. Okay, how many people are in that category? Looks like that 4 million figure. So 4,024,052. Okay, divided by the total, which is 13,561,596. Hopefully you're seeing the pattern here. Part divided by whole. Kind of like you're going to find percent, except to find a percent, you would multiply by 100 once you did part divided by whole. We want a probability, so we want the decimal number between 0 and 1, so we don't multiply by 100. Now, if you divide that out, you get 0.297 if you round 3 decimal places. Okay. Now let's see about the some college category. Let's see here. The empirical probability of the randomly selected adult Floridian, let's say, went to college but did not finish. Went to college but did not finish is, okay, how many people are in that category? Well, it's that 2 million figure or so. So 2,828,529. Okay, 2,828,529 divided by the whole, which is 13,561,596. Okay, the decimal there is 0.209. Okay, which, okay, make sure we're realizing what these mean. Make sure you're when you see a decimal like that, that's 5.4%. Right there, that's 8.1%. That decimal right there represents 29.7%. This decimal right there represents 20.9%. So all you do to convert to percentages would be to move the decimal place to the right twice. Okay, but again, we always write probabilities in decimal form, a number between 0 and 1 inclusively. Okay. And let's see associate's degree. The empirical probability that the randomly selected Floridian, 25 years and older, has an associate's degree need an apostrophe there. Associate's degree is, well, what? Let's say associate's degree, but no further college education is, okay, what's that probability? How many people are in that category? It's that 1.2 million figure. So 1,242,532 divided by the whole, which is 13561,596, and that decimal number is 0.092, so 9.2%. Okay, getting close to being done here. What about bachelor's degree? The empirical probability that a randomly selected adult Floridian has a bachelor's degree but no further higher education. That probability is, let's see here. Well, there's that 2 million figure, that's those folks. 2,324,792 divided by the whole, which is 13,561,596. When you divide that out, you get 0.171. That says 17.1% of Floridians 25 years and older hold a bachelor's degree, but not higher degree. Okay? Now the last one. These are the graduate or professional degrees. Okay? So the empirical probability that a randomly selected adult Floridian, 25 years and older, has, let's say, a graduate or professional degree is, well, how many folks do? Let's see here. That's 1.3 million, so 1,304,635 divided by the total, which is 13,561,596. That is 0.096, so 9.6%. So there are the probabilities. Okay? Now, here's the way to check yourself. Now, I haven't checked myself, so let's hopefully we did this right. Here's the way to check yourself. The way you know you're right, well, you can feel safe that you're right. It's not a guarantee, but if you've done your math right, what will always happen with empirical probabilities is if you add all of the empirical probabilities up, you should get 1. Now, we've rounded here, so we might not get exactly 1, but we should get very, very, very close to 1. If we add up all of these empirical probabilities, we should get a number very, very close to 1, if not 1. So let's try it out. So the first one is 0.054, okay? 0.054 plus the second one is 0.081 plus, okay, third is 0.297 plus, okay, this next one is 0.209 plus this next one is 0.092 plus the second to last one is 0.171 and the very last one is 0.096. Now cross your fingers and hope that when I hit enter we get a number very, very close to 1, if not 1. Oh, we got super lucky here. Because usually when you have rounding error, you'll get not 1 exactly. But as long as you get close to 1, you're fine. But if you could see my calculator right now, you could see that I got exactly 1. Which means we probably didn't make an error. Now, it's possible that we made a couple errors, but it was kind of a wash kind of thing. But I would say we're probably good here. So that's all you had to do for this portfolio. Again, so well, what you can say is that if you pick a random Floridian out that's 25 years and older, there is the probability, for instance, of them having an associate's degree, but not more higher education, is 0.092. So in percentage form, that's 9.2%, a 9.2% chance. But again, we want probability form, which is that decimal notation. So that is really all we have to do here. Let's double check, I guess, make sure I didn't overlook anything. Go back to the ebook here. Find the results of an online survey and then use them to compute empirical probabilities. Summarize, in a paragraph. Well, we didn't write a paragraph. Okay, so your job to do, I listed these out. So what your job to do is write a paragraph summarizing the information listed above. It doesn't have to be anything major here, but that's your job. Okay, I'm not going to do that. There's no reason for me to do that. What you can do is take this information and then write a couple sentences about it. 3 or 4 sentences, maybe about the most interesting part, maybe about the highest categories or the lowest categories, or the highest or lowest probabilities, or whatever you find interesting. Write a couple sentences about that in a paragraph form, and that would be how to achieve full credit here. So we listed probabilities, and then write a paragraph about them. Okay. Again, depending on the data you pick, you might not have as many categories. So here there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 categories. So it took us a few minutes. You may have more or less categories, but again, not hard here. Essentially, all you have to do is find a total and then do part divided by whole for each category. And then double check yourself, make sure they all add up to 1, and that way you know you did your math right. Easy way to check yourself. Then write a little paragraph. Nothing crazy here, not a long paper or anything, just a paragraph summarizing, highlighting your findings. Okay? So that is the gist of this portfolio. Again, make sure to always name it correctly. So save as, let's see, I'm going to save it on the desktop. Name it, at least for my classes, last name, underscore first name, underscore page number. This was page 93. Oh, P93. Okay? And then to submit it, remember, all you have to do is go to, let's see here, go back to Blackboard. Remember, course content, portfolios. Scroll down here to page 93, lesson 2-1. And you can attach your file right here. Browse to find it. That's all you gotta do. Remember, this should be, this is one of the portfolios that should be a Word document. So remember, .docx or .doc extensions. Make sure it's not like an open office form or in a Mac format, because your teacher probably couldn't read it if it was in one of those formats. Okay. All right, so I hope this has been helpful. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me. As always, see you soon.